The day has come. Today is the day where I can finally show you guys this new for 2022 20-foot pumpkin stack being sold at home this year for $190, $189.99. So we first heard about this one on May 31st of this year when we finally got the info on what At Home is getting for Halloween, and then a few days, maybe a week later, we found out about Christmas, about mid-June actually, so maybe it was about 2 weeks later. But originally people were all, well, there has been a lot of different theories about this. There's been a lot of different stuff because, again, just like most at-home inflatables, it took them about nearly like a month and a half, in some cases 2 months, to get the rest of their Halloween stuff in. So people were thinking, I know people who were thinking that this got canceled. I know people who were thinking that that this was a thought that was circulating after we found out that the Spider and the Infinity Mirror Reaper were airflows, were actually made by airflows. There were actually thoughts that this was also going to be an airflows one because about a year ago, I think it was last year, Airflows unveiled their new 20-foot designs, and now At Home is actually getting that new Mummy. Well, it's already in stock. You can go buy it right now. It's also available at Lowe's and a few other online retailers like Overstock.com and stuff like that. But just to go over that real quick, Airflows' new 20-footers have two cheap fans. They are not even external base fans. They're just the white ones, in case you don't know what those are. They are just complete cheap garbage. Two cheap fans, $260 for that Mummy. It's completely ridiculous. But thankfully, as it turns out, this 20-foot pumpkin stack is Gemmy, and it is the first ever Gemmy 20-foot Halloween inflatable, which is a huge deal. This is the first Halloween inflatable 20-footer that Gemmy has made, because it has been years of just knockoff 20-footers before Gemmy finally decided to make a 20-foot Halloween inflatable. They've been doing 20-foot Christmas inflatables for the past 5 years now. Well, actually, more than that. I think they took a break in between doing the original Snowman from 2012, I believe, before they started making them again in 2018. So you can tell that that's a long time of waiting before they finally introduce new 20-foot Halloween inflatables. But I'm very glad that this one's being sold in stores. And I'm also very glad that they are not jacking up the price on this one and is remaining the same original prototype price of $190. So that's just the rundown of it. I'm very, very excited to see this one. I mean, I know I say that in a lot of videos, but I mean, we've been waiting so long for this. So I am very excited to see this guy inflated. Let's go ahead and get to the rundown of the box design, then we'll get to the inflation. So actually, this is a brand new, kind of new box design that they are trying out this year for at-home inflatables. And I think that they should actually start doing this for Lowe's ones too, to say exclusively at Lowe's. Which I know they did that for a little bit, like 2020, that was on the Universal Monsters merchandise. But I'm very happy to see that they're actually going with this, because for collectors and who like showing them off on shelves and stuff, this actually looks pretty cool to say exclusively at Home. Hopefully they keep doing that. Front, obviously, it's just the same thing as I would say these are the Walmart box designs, actually, or what used to be the Walmart box designs, since Walmart is now doing their, well, actually Canadian exclusive box designs. That's like the black and white top and bottom and along the sides and stuff. So it's no longer that box design, but this is the background that's typically used for Walmart's Halloween inflatables. There's the side. from all other sides, it is just the standard airborne inflatable box design. As you can see right there, that is the price and the tag. If you go in there, 2022 Jemmy on that other side, and there's the person compared to it, just like all the other 20-footers. It looks, pretty massive just looking at the box and the comparison. And if we flip it back to the front here, there's the bubbles that, blocks, bubbles, whatever you want to call them, that explain what the inflatable is, and like colossal size down there, and other stuff and what it comes with. So that's pretty much the rundown of the box, just generic, but it does have that exclusively at home tag, which is pretty interesting, and I hope they keep doing that. But that's the box design. Let's go ahead and get to the unboxing. So I actually did want to go in depth in the unboxing. So let's go ahead and just get to it. It's about the same box size as, obviously as the other 20-footers, but it's also like the Dragon that's being sold at home this year and other ones. And as you can see, they just do the 2 pieces of tape on either side. So that's easy to get into. Pretty cool. Make sure all the flaps are open so they don't get in your way. Like you have to bend them, and yeah. So here's the instructions. Again, just standard base fan instructions. I really don't understand why they're not doing the instructions on the back anymore. Just like the cheap fan, like the cheap fans, they're doing that on the cheap fans. I don't understand why they're not doing it on the base fans either. But on the cheap fans anyway, they do include a piece of paper. So I don't understand what the whole purpose is if they're trying to save money, but whatever. This one does come with a Colossal steak pack. Thank goodness. We were all thinking this was gonna, after the reindeer last year, we were thinking this was gonna come with just standard steaks, and they're just getting so cheap. But thankfully this does come with Colossal steaks. That's very good to see. This is about a medium thickness fabric, so it's not just standard inflatable fabric, but it's also not Colossal fabric. It's right in the middle, so it's nice to see that they're not going with some cheap stuff. And as you can see right there is the fan. This does not have a tornado fan. That's right off the bat. That is a very big con. Just like I don't even know why they would make the same mistake as the 20-foot snowman and Santa, after there's been so many complaints about those having 60s, and they taken like 20 plus minutes, maybe even 30 minutes to inflate. But this does have an 80, so it is a little bit better, but it definitely needs a tornado fan, so that is very unfortunate. But that's just the unboxing, just basic stuff. I'm excited to see this guy inflated. Let's go ahead and get it inflated. Okay, so first impressions of it inflated is that it is definitely huge. You can definitely tell that this is a 20-footer, but it is not as big as the 20-foot snowman. The 20-foot snowman is a lot wider. It is a lot just bigger in general. I definitely think it should be as wide as the 20-foot snowman, and like the bottom pumpkin should be as big as the bottom part of the snowman, but it's still definitely huge, and it's going to definitely be a huge crowd pleaser, especially if you do like an event or something and you put it outside. Definitely going to attract a lot of crowds. But so far, wish it was a little bit wider, but definitely tall. It is definitely tall. It's 20 feet tall. There's no question about that. It's not like they're trying to scam you here. It is a darker shade of orange, like the 12-foot pumpkin that's also being sold at home, that was also sold last year. That's a darker shade, and it's the same shade, so I definitely like that, versus the actual 3D image of it that we saw May 31st when we found out about it, and how the store display was supposed to be set up, is that it actually looked a lot lighter than what it actually ended up looking like. And I'm all for it. I love this darker color versus the like faded color. It looks pretty bad, like the 20-foot the 2020 12-foot pumpkin from at home. That one's a lot lighter. But definitely love the shade on this one, and I love all the faces on the pumpkins. Although, one thing I'd like to say is that I get this is for families, but I'd like to see a different version that's possibly an online exclusive that has a lot scarier faces for like the more Halloween oriented, scarier displays like that. But I'm all for this design. The bottom two pumpkins definitely resemble the 3.5 foot pumpkin stack that's just two pumpkins that is also being sold at home again this year. It's brought back for like the fourth year in a row now. But I can show you a picture of it right here. And it definitely resembles that. And I like that. I'd like to see more versions of this pumpkin stack. So like imagine that the top two pumpkins in it weren't there and it was just like top there and it's like a 12-footer. That's definitely pretty cool and I like seeing that. But hopefully we see more pumpkin designs in the future. We are going in a good direction right now as what I call the age of Colossals. I mean, look at how many we're getting this year. We have 6 Christmas 20-footers, the 14-foot Santa at Walmart, I think a Colossal Mickey, we don't know about that one yet, and more. And a 14-foot Oogie, 18-foot Jack Skellington Vampire. So definitely they could be a little bit better, but as of now, it's great to see that we're getting a lot more Colossals, so that people can make their displays a lot bigger and more vibrant, rather than just, putting out a few small ones in the front yard. So definitely like to see more Colossals in the future, but this is a great start. This actually does have the bigger tether attachments on the second up pumpkin right there, and I'm definitely glad it comes with Colossal stakes rather than just regular stakes, because obviously those tether attachments are way too high up for there. But definitely nice to see that. And then there's 2 tether attachments right at the bottom there for the base stakes. Now, big complaint here, and this goes same for the 20-foot Nutcracker that is now discontinued. And At Home is not bringing that one back, but they are bringing back the 20-foot Snowman and Santa that should 100% be retired. This is their 5th year. I mean, and now we're getting a Snowman family. Why does the Snowman, 20-foot Snowman by itself even exist anymore? So that's just garbage. But the Nutcracker has the same issue, where the 2 tether attachments on the bottom are too high up. You cannot stake them down; they're too high up. For the spiral stakes and for even Colossal stakes at some point. Thankfully, these are a little bit more farther down, so you can reach the ground with these if you tried, but that's a huge complaint right there. This guy, thankfully, actually has 2 zippers, one, obviously the big one right in the back here on the second pumpkin up, and obviously the one down by the fan that all inflatables have, so definitely grateful that that has 2 zippers rather than just the one down by the fan. Another one of what some people would consider a con is that it only has a YEF 80, which is just the standard fan, versus a Tornado fan, which, I mean, they put those in like 6-footers. Why wouldn't they put that in a 20-footer? But people complain about how long it takes for the Snowman and Santa to inflate, and this one to some extent. This took about, I want to say 5 to 10 minutes to inflate, versus the Snowman and Santa taking about 20 to 25 minutes to inflate. So definitely think it should have a more powerful fan, but at the same time, it inflates it great. Not perfect, but again, I circle back to this because all these people are saying you want it to inflate really, really tight. That's not what you want exactly. You want it to inflate good. So it's actually, it stands up and it's, it won't have any issues, but when it's so tight, when wind gusts come, there's nowhere for that wind to go. So it presses in on it and makes them explode. So like you've never heard of a cheap fan one exploding. You've always heard of these big base fan ones exploding because there's too much pressure on it because people upgrade the fans and stuff. But I think definitely Gemmy knows what they're doing, and I'm right now on board with this YEF 80 decision. But the light strand situation, we'll see it at night here in a bit. But definitely think it should have more C7s. So far I've heard that it has 6. So definitely definitely want it to inflate a lot. Yeah, you want it to inflate good and you want it to light up good, but So far, both of those are on the fence. We'll see how it ends up turning out in the display, but so far those are pretty much the only cons about this one. So now that we've taken a in-depth look at it, let's go ahead and rate it. So the first category is design. And design, I'm going to give this a good 9 out of 10. I mean, when I was thinking for the last 2 years now, we've been thinking about 20-foot Halloween inflatables because this was inevitable. It was going to happen at some point. And now that they've crossed this line of 20-footers, now that they're going 20 feet, there's no looking back. So this is a new future for Gemmy, and they're going to start making 20-foot Halloween inflatables. But I mean, I would have not thought of, actually, it's so obvious, I don't know why none of us really thought of it, a 20-foot pumpkin stack. But I was thinking more like a 20-foot tree, 20-foot pumpkin reaper, which I definitely think is in the future, as well as a 20-foot tree, and maybe a 20-foot ghost, some stuff like that. But 20-foot, we were thinking 20-foot pumpkin, but that was just, and that was a little bit too much. But now we have 20-foot pumpkin stack, which is, wow. When we saw this, it was definitely a huge appeal. So design, definitely a 9 out of 10. There's not much I could say that would really, diminish this. This is a absolutely amazing design. As far as quality goes, 6 out of 10, because they didn't just do the bare minimum. They did add, extra strength, the bigger tether attachments on it, and they went with an 80 instead of a 60. It's still no tornado fan, but still, it's better than just having a 60, which is the minimal base fan that they could put in it. I like the faces, like everything. This is definitely fun for families and people who want to do huge, massive displays. So this is just overall a good inflatable because it does both. It's not overly scary, but it does, still appeal to families and hardcore Halloween, display enthusiasts and stuff like that. So quality, 6 out of 10. It's not the bare minimum, but they could have done a lot better. And price, I'd go ahead and give this an 8 or 9 out of 10. I mean, originally when we saw this, and when we saw the price of the 20-foot Christmas ones, I was thinking this was going to be $200 or $210, but it actually ended up being the same price, $190, which you can't really argue with that. I mean, with all this inflation going on right now, $190 is a great price to pay for it. So I'm 100% happy with that price. But could be 180, 170, 180, but that's back in the olden days, back in like 2019, 2020, when inflation was not really over the top. So that's price, 8 or 9 out of 10. You can't argue with the price. $190 for this, when most inflatables today are like, most big inflatables are 200 plus. You cannot argue with that. So absolutely amazing price. Besides that, wow factor, it definitely has that wow factor. I mean, first ever Jemmy 20-foot Halloween inflatable, you cannot really beat that. You can't, argue with this. Finally, we're getting 20-foot huge Halloween inflatables, so you can't really say anything bad about that. But overall, I'd go ahead and give this guy about an 8 or 9 out of 10. If I had to settle on one number, I'd go ahead and give it an 8. Because again, it could be a lot better, but at least it is something. It's something new we haven't seen before, so definitely pretty interesting. So 8 out of 10 overall, definitely pretty cool. If you want this one, go ahead and pick it up. It's a great price, so just go ahead and get it. Well, there's my review on this new for 2022 20-foot pumpkin stack being sold at home this year for $190. Definitely think this is an amazing inflatable. It's certainly a candidate for inflatable of the year right now, strictly because of the wow factor, and it's just so far built not terribly, so definitely really cool one, and it was definitely worth the wait. So if you guys want to see more reviews, which are coming very soon, more 20-foot Christmas reviews are coming very, very soon, so stay tuned for those. If you want to see those, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, go ahead and like it. I don't want to be one of those people who go like and subscribe to my channel, but I mean, I try to get you guys good content on a regular basis, so definitely was waiting a long time to post this video. Hopefully you liked it. I mean, as far as the inflatable goes, this is definitely pretty cool. So far, one more thing to mention here is it is holding up in the wind very well. I have it up against the trees, but I mean, it's just waving back and forth, but that's all it pretty much does. It's not like violent at all. And the wind is decent, it's not gushing winds, but like 100%. Yeah, see, just like that. When a gust comes like that, it just, it waves back and forth. It doesn't want to go flying, and it's back to being normal. So definitely pretty cool. That's kind of the last note on this guy. If you want it, go ahead and pick it up. It's a great price. But until the next review, I'm the Inflatable Bastard. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.